It's 2021, and if you're like me, then you probably heard about Chainsaw Man from a friend or the internet. And if you're like me even more, you probably didn't want to read it at first, like, huh? A man that has chainsaw powers. Why the fuck? This was about the most crazy experience I've had reading a manga, other than those ones. The craziness and unpredictableness is what made people everywhere love Chainsaw Man, leading it to have an anime adaptation, giving it even more fans, and a percentage of those fans decided to read the manga. And a percentage of those fans decided to read.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
But we're not here to talk about that yet. We're here to talk about this. I love Chainsaw Man Part 2. My experience reading Part 2 went a little something like this. Okay, we got a student named Asa Mitaka whose parents were killed by devils. Cool. Where is Denji? One of the reasons why I love Chainsaw Man Part 2 is it doesn't follow our relatable, so fucking relatable, protagonist Denji. We've been through a journey with Denji, going through the highest of highs and lowest of lows. And it is what it is. So it doesn't feel quite right just leaving off with the last chapter with what we did. When Chainsaw Man Part 2 dropped, I was eager and curious, wanting to catch up on Denji's life and how he's doing, like an old friend. But because it didn't follow Denji, I didn't let that experience ruin it for me. Tatsuki Fujimoto wanted everyone to view Part 2 as something different from Part 1, whether that be something else or the fact that Denji is no longer the protagonist for Part 2. Chainsaw Man Part 2 follows our protagonist, Asa Mitaka, a high school girl, a socially awkward, self-conscious, autistic incel of a woman. Smash. I mean, I love her. Asa's life has been really terrible. At a young age, she lost both of her parents to a devil. She doesn't hang out with anyone or have any friends, and the people that tried to befriend her were psychopaths, weirdos, and more nut jobs. Ever since the night she died, Asa's life has been anything but normal. A devil, and not just any devil, the war devil took over her body and wants to cause straight chaos. She almost dies when devil hunting, then she accidentally kills her only friend to stop others from getting hurt. This crazy bitch shows up and surprise, she's not actually dead. Just a freak. Can't pull the one guy who's desperate for a woman's attention. The list goes on. And honestly, I think I might like her over Denji. Denji's done nothing wrong, but Asa is really just fun to watch. The reactions she gives when she's cornered are just hilarious. Just the pure frustration makes me quite literally lol. But we wouldn't have any of this if Asa hadn't died in the first chapter, welcoming the bread to her butter, Yoru, aka the War Devil. And I know what you might be thinking, huh? The War Devil, with a name like that, they would have to be really powerful and scary. She's adorable. She's the most threatening, non-threatening character within this story. At first, when reading Part 2, you're gonna be like, oh my god, this shit is so fucking scary, I'm gonna shit myself. And then you're just like, wow, this is what I was afraid of? Let me just... Since the story takes on more of Asa's perspective, you see Yoru through her eyes, but as the reader looking at the relationship as a whole, it's actually pretty wholesome to see how they grow and interact with each other. The way Yoru treats Asa at first is like a child that you're insulting on Valorant because they're throwing the game for their loser, unskilled friend on the other team, into someone that she sees as a person. I think. It's hard knowing what Yoru thinks because we don't really know much about her through Part 2 so far. Every time we inch closer to knowing more about her, she just falls asleep. I'm not kidding. The fucking audacity on this devil. It doesn't matter what fandom you're a part of or what show you enjoy, you probably fantasize about two of your favorite characters interacting. It's like when two of your favorite shows decide to do a crossover. It blows your tiny monkey brain and it just leaves you feeling and that's exactly how I feel when I even catch a whiff of two characters that are about to interact. I think it's actually become a major problem for me. I mean, we have a boy for over 11 volumes we know to be desperate for a woman's touch or a girlfriend, and a socially autistic girl whose goal is to manipulate him. How will they interact? A. She falls in love with him at first sight. Or B. He falls in love with her at first sight. Or C. They fight and hate each other. Well, if you're delusional like me, then you probably pick the first two answers. Because when they first interact, they get into an argument and you would think this is where it ends. But nope, they have many more interactions throughout part 2. Well, maybe not anymore. There are other interactions that I love and am waiting to happen in part 2, but I won't speak any more about it because I want to avoid any more spoilers. One thing I will say though, the manga is really good at giving us blue balls. The amount of times the manga jerked me off, stopped, and said that we'll finish this next time isn't a lot, but it's still crazy good to still have me coming back. Unfortunately, sometimes we have to wait 2 weeks for a new chapter to come out, and other times it's a week. I'm not complaining though, because regardless of how long it takes for a new chapter to come out, it doesn't feel rushed. The pacing is still just as crazy as ever, just like in part 1. No matter what I say or what anyone else tries to predict about the story, it goes in a totally different direction. Another reason on why I love Chainsaw Man and Tatsuki Fujimoto's amazing writing style. And I hope you guys like my new writing style too. It's taken some time to perfect it, but you know, it is what it is. I hope you guys are enjoying the content. Thank you all so much for the love and support. I love you all, and I will see you all next time.